It's time for Blitz here on Windstream Channel 4. I'm your host, Brian Carter. High school sports are officially in full swing with football, softball, and volleyball, and we have you covered with interviews, highlights, and much more. But right now, I'm joined by Habersham Central Lady Raiders softball coach Stephanie Thomas. Coach Thomas, first I just wanted to thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to be with us here on Blitz today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Now, you graduated from Habersham Central and played here. And my question for you is, what are your feelings on having the opportunity to come back here and coach for the team that you once played for?
Well, it's been very exciting for me. I graduated in '93, and so it took me a while. I coached at Franklin County for a while, but I always wanted to come back home. I've always lived here, so it's been a great opportunity for me to be able to come back.
And as a player, you probably view the game differently as you do a coach. What have been the biggest changes you've seen in the game altogether, any facet of the game that's changed since you were here at Habersham?
Well, there's been a lot of change since when I played, it was actually slow pitch. So we've had to go through a lot of changes. I think actually fast pitch began here in '95. So it's just been an interesting change, and I really like the fast pace of the game and all the different aspects that are involved with it.
So obviously that has to play on your mentality a little bit as well. Has that changed at all for you, going from a player to a coach, the mentality of that win attitude and anything like that? Any different approach you take to the game?
I don't think there's much of a difference, being that we all enjoy winning, whether you're a player or a coach. However, you do have to change, your leadership styles a little bit. You want your leaders on the team, and as a player, you want to be a leader. However, once you start coaching, you have to, look at different, you look more at the mental aspect of the game, because, as a player, that's really what you're worried about, getting out there, getting playing time, working hard on your skills. But then once you become a coach, you look more at the mental aspects, I think, of the game.
Now, last season, Habersham Central went 16-10 with a tie in there, I believe, and 6-5 in region play, finishing behind Appalachia and Madison. And you pretty much brought most of your players back from last year, and you have 5 seniors on the team this year. What kind of impact does that senior leadership actually have on this team?
Well, it's been a great positive impact. I've got 5 great seniors this year. They all contribute to the team in many different ways, and so being able to have 5 come back has just been outstanding for the team.
Okay. Now, last season, again, Appalachia and Madison finished 1-2 ahead of Habersham in sub-region 8A, 4A. Talk a little bit about your region and your sub-region this year, and who are the teams that you feel Habersham is most threatened by?
Okay, well, if you look at the region as a whole, Madison County is always on top. They're always they play small ball. They're fast. They're just real smart, quick on the bases. So they're always going to be at the top no matter what. Appalachia last year did pretty well. We expect them to be on top in our sub-region this year. Loganville from the other side, Heritage, they're going to be really good on the other side. So we don't see them, since we do play a sub-region, we only see them when we make it to the region tournament. But on our side, the top should be Madison, Appalachia, and us.
Okay, and speaking of Madison, you've had quite a few games so far this season. 4 games in particular where you had some one-run decisions that were pretty heartbreaking, I guess. 2-1 loss to Madison in 9 innings, and a 2-1 loss to Union, a 1-0 loss to West Hall. How frustrating is that for you as a coach when your pitching and your defense is playing stellar, and maybe your offense isn't quite coming through like you want?
Well, in those games that you mentioned, in the Union County game, that's pretty much exactly what happened. Our defense was pretty good. We were hitting, but it was just like the ball had eyes. It was going straight to them. So that was a little frustrating. West Hall was the same way. When we finally went and played Madison County, it all came together. We played well defensively, offensively. It was an extreme team effort, and even though it was a loss, it was a hard-fought loss, and I cannot speak highly enough of those girls and the heart that they played with.
So there are, to you, is there such a thing such as a good loss? I mean, can you actually build on certain losses depending on the outcome?
I think so. You learn a lot in a loss. And I try to tell my team that as long as we play well and we do the best we can and we're executing, there's going to be times that's going to happen. And it, like I told you, with Madison County, it was a hard-fought battle. And when I say battle, that's exactly what it was. But these girls, they played. And I tell them 7 innings, play 7 innings. These girls went 9, and they never once gave up. It's just, Madison County happened to push the run, the winning run over the plate. And, it could have easily went either way. So it's just as hard for us to play Madison as it is for Madison to play us. I guess that's pretty much our big rival.
Now, there are times, though, when the pitching and the offense click in the same time. You've had an 11-1 win over West Hall. You had an 8-0 win and a 9-0 win. In games like that, as a coach, do you ever kind of put your guard down and let your girls just play the game out?
No, probably not. Of course, I do want them to enjoy it, and I do want them to have a good time while they're out there. But the ultimate thing is winning, and I like to go ahead and get the win in the style that we need to. And I tell them, they hear it out of my mouth quite often, that we need to play our game. We don't need to slow down, give up, take a breather. We need to go get the win. And so that's pretty much what we go after.
Now, Coach, you played a lot of your games to start out the season on the road. Talk a little bit about the difference between playing on the road to start a season rather than scattering those away games throughout the schedule.
Well, we usually start our season off with a tournament, whether it be, close by or far off. And I like doing that. That kind of gives the coaches the opportunity to see the girls right off the bat, quickly and in many different games instead of just, a regular season game. I enjoy playing on the road. I think we play better a lot of times on the road. It's not that we don't play well at home. It's just I think the pressure's off of them, and they play better on the road. We like to take our home crowd with us, and when we do, we have a great following, a great support of our parents and friends and everything that supports softball. But I think it's easier sometimes to play on the road.
Last question, Coach. Basically, just can you give our audience an overview of the depth that you have on Habersham Central's team this year and where you see these girls going throughout the end of the season?
Well, as you said before, we do have those 5 seniors, and they do contribute greatly to the team. So with that leadership and the capabilities that we have, we've got an outstanding sophomore pitcher, Jordan Ellingson. We've got 2 great catchers. One of them's the senior, Kylie Martin. Then we've got a junior, Charlotte Llewellyn. I could talk individually about them all, but they all contribute greatly to the success of our team. And if we continue to play with the heart that we've got, we're going to do great things in this region.
Coach Thomas, it was a pleasure having you on the show today, and we really appreciate it and hope you have good luck on the season.
Thank you.
We're going to take a breather, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be at Lumpkin County High School to meet with volleyball head coach Ryan Trust. Don't go away.